In this quick tip, we'll talk about how to add a freeze frame effect to your composition. So here I have a cool video of some guys doing some backflips on some motocross bikes. And let's go ahead and double click to take a look at it. And what I want to do here is stop this video at a certain spot, basically stretch it out, create a freeze frame at a specific position. So let's play real quick. You'll see here they take off, do a cool flip, and right there is where we want to go ahead and stop the video. So again, they do a flip and stop. So we'll take the frame within the video and stretch it out over time. And the way we can do this is by using what's called time remapping here inside of After Effects. So let's go ahead and get started by creating a new composition out of this video. I'll take the video clip here in my project panel and drag and drop it to this new composition icon. All right. So the next thing I need to do is enable time remapping on this layer. What that'll do is allow me to go ahead and adjust the timing of the video with some keyframes. So just like you would adjust size and opacity, we can do that with time. It's a little weird to take a look at it, even if we look at the graph editor, because you have time over time as far as an animation, but it's really neat and really easy to manipulate. So real quick here, we'll select the video. We'll go to our layer menu at the top, and we'll go ahead and select enable time remapping. So when we do that, a new property will appear here in our timeline. You'll see that we have two keyframes. This first keyframe represents the first frame in this video. This last keyframe represents the last frame in this video. And if I were to bring them closer together, essentially what I'm doing is playing all the frames of this clip in a faster duration, right? So if I play this real quick here by hitting the space bar on my keyboard, you'll see the video's a little bit faster than normal. Now, if you're going to do some type of slow motion or speed it up, generally what you want to do is have a higher frame rate video. But since we're just freezing a single frame in time, a regular 24 frames, 30 frames per second video is going to be just fine for this effect. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and undo this real quick, Control Z. What I want to do is find that actual spot, that point in time that I'd like to freeze. So I'm going to go ahead and scrub over, and right about here when they extend that backflip Superman seat grab, yes, I know that trick, I'm going to go ahead and add a keyframe in my timeline. So right here, I'll go ahead and mark that. And then what I'll do is I'll zoom in to this keyframe, move over one frame, and then add an additional keyframe. So basically what I'm going to do is take those two keyframes and stretch them apart. And what that'll do is allow me to go ahead and hold that single frame over a long period of time. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in by using this little zoom tool down here at the bottom and zoom into my timeline. There we go. You can see all the individual frames of this video, of this composition. I'm going to move over one more frame here to about 3 seconds. Add another keyframe on the time remap property. And there you go. So all I have to do now is stretch the distance of these two keyframes, make them further apart, and what it'll do is I'll go ahead and hold that frame for that duration, however far I stretch it out. So go ahead and zoom back out, bring this down all the way so we can see all the entire frames of this clip. If I want to stretch it out, I will need to adjust the composition settings, because you can see right now it's trimmed to the actual video. We need to go ahead and add some more time for this to be stretched out. So I'll do that right now. We'll go back to the composition here in my project panel. I'll go ahead and right click on it and select composition settings. And then down here, we'll go ahead and maybe double this. So instead of 4 seconds, 10 frames, we'll make this, let's make it a little bit shorter. How about 7 seconds, 10 frames? That sounds pretty good. I'll click OK. You'll see here our composition timeline is a little bit bigger. We'll shrink that down again here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two keyframes, bring them out towards the end, and then trim edit the video. So I don't want to adjust the timing between these last two keyframes, because that is when it goes back into regular speed, right? What I want to do is adjust the distance between these two keyframes. So what I'm going to do here is going to select that last keyframe. There we go. Shift click this keyframe, and then just move them over. There we go. So essentially here is where that single frame is being held over time. It's going to stay there for looks like 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds, and then the video should continue right afterwards. Before we can play this, I need to stretch out this clip. We'll do a little trim edit, bring this all the way out to the keyframe, go back to the beginning of the timeline so we can test it out, and spacebar. There we go. Easy as that. So again, right here between these two keyframes, that frame is held in time, does not move, and there we can add any type of animation, any type of graphics, whatever we want to do to that freeze frame. Even change the background black and white and keep them in color. I don't know. It really depends on what you're trying to do with this. So anyways, very simple to do. Didn't take any time at all. This is a real quick tip. Just remember, we first have to take the video. We have to go up to our layer menu and enable time remapping by going to time, enable time remapping. And then what we'll do here is add some keyframes at the exact spot where we like to add that freeze frame. And then we'll go ahead and stretch those two keyframes and define its duration. So there you go. Real simple. Freeze frame.